Hello and welcome back.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Happy whatever day it is to you people.
Monday for us. So
For us.
happy Monday to you.
Oh, happy Monday to you as well.
How was your weekend?
It was very chill. I did some shopping. I did some damages to my cards.
Nice.
But all in good fun.
Nice.
How was yours?
It was pretty chill. I was dog sitting for the most part for my boss, it's like a love-hate relationship with dog sitting for him because I love his dog, but his dog is like very annoying. Like he's so cute, but he's so stubborn and he doesn't like do what you tell him. He's had a hard life, so I'll give him that, but like, come on, man. You're living in a very nice house now. Appreciate.
You're spoiled.
Yeah, appreciate what you have, you know?
Yeah.
So I just kind of hung out with him because he has separation anxiety.
Aww.
Which.
From his past,
yeah, you know. Which same, you know. But, so it was very chill. And I found a new spot to just that I never really thought about would be a good spot to cry, but I sent this to you. I sent this to you.
To cry?
I sent it to you on Snapchat, and you're like, "Oh yeah, nice." And I thought you just knew what I was talking about.
I did not read that correctly then.
I was like, "Yeah, crying in the hot tub hits differently." You didn't get that?
I did not read the crying.
No,
I read it.
Luisa's just yeah, great.
I think I read it as spending something about in the bathtub hits different. I completely blanked on the crying. I just read something about the hot tub hits different. And I'm like, yeah, it does. You go, girl.
So I was like, okay, well, she's in support of my, sometimes you just got to cry it out and then move on.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So we did that, and then I was good.
Good.
So, but anyways, what are we
have
talking
a fun
about?
topic
I think
ahead.
that we have a fun little topic.
We are talking about navigating your career and whatever that means to you.
It's not going to be as boring as that just sounded.
It's 10 times more fun. It's 10 times more exciting.
And we're going to do it from a college mindset. So someone who maybe even somebody that's in high school.
Yeah.
Going into college, trying to think of what they're wanting to do with their life.
Going into college.
Right. So, but and kind of putting our perspective on where our heads were at when we were making that decision, just with graduation coming up. I actually just got Tammy's invitation for her master's, which I know she's been working really hard on. So we're going to kind of tie in that perspective to it because May is literally right around the corner.
It really is.
So yeah, if you don't know what your life goals are,
neither do we.
Exactly. So yeah, that's why we're here. Just turn on Basically Adulting and cry in the hot tub with us because that's what we're here for. We're here to support you and
Grab
your
a
goals.
Beer, crack it open.
Right. Yeah, we're drifting off from our normal wine /
non-alcoholics.
Yeah. I couldn't wait for you today I had to crack one open before you got here.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. I just had to take the edge off, you know?
Yeah, I get it. 100%. Get it.
So let's start.
Let's jump right in.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
So how did you know you wanted to do what you are doing right now?
I did not. No. I wanted to be a photojournalist out of high school.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a documentarist. That was my goal. My goal was to eventually have a documentary type show later in my life. Yeah.
And look at you now.
Yeah. It's pretty similar.
You're just documenting your life.
Documenting my life. Yeah, I am technically with Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and everything. But, and then my father was like, no, You will starve. You are not doing that.
No, daughter.
No, daughter. So I had a mental breakdown. Like, I think many of you graduating probably have had many as of late. Because I was like, well, that was my only thing that I wanted to do. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I went back to like, I took one of those like career quizzes that the guidance counselors always send out.
Just take this test. It'll solve all of your problems.
And then like number 1, you could get like janitor, and you're like, I don't even like to clean my own room. Why would I want to clean out after people?
You got janitor?
No. But I'm saying like some people like get that in their top 10, like trash worker or something random.
Are those real, like, people strive to be a janitor?
I don't know what.
I mean, if you do,
good for them.
We need people like that, so thank you. But I didn't know that they were on those tests.
I don't know. I mean, mind you, this has been well over a decade.
Yeah, that's fair.
Those tests probably have changed. But
we should retake those tests and
see what we get.
And if it's like, become a podcaster.
Oh, yeah.
We would be living out our college dreams.
For sure. But yeah, I just went back to the books, and I pretty much was like, well, I like, the law and like everything. And I was going to be a lawyer, guys. I wanted to be a lawyer.
I think that you would be very successful.
That's what everybody says.
As a lawyer.
That's my therapist, my family. Everyone says that.
Because you always have an answer for everything, you know?
I know. Yeah.
You really do.
That's what my grandma says.
Which sometimes it's like, I didn't ask for an answer. So like, thank you for your input. But
I know.
I'm just venting to you.
I know. I'm just like always. What do I say now? I just used this phrase today. I was like, my unprofessional opinion is this.
I like that.
Yeah. I say that a lot. I'm like, this is my unprofessional opinion.
It's like your tagline. It's like your tagline.
Yes. My unprofessional opinion as I give therapy advice. And
well, that is why you go to therapy and I don't. So I can just
trickle down therapy right there.
Exactly. I can just get therapy from you.
That's right.
I feel like we've got the system like nailed down.
We do.
Yeah. Why wouldn't anyone want advice from us?
Exactly. We have great life advice. But so I was going to go to law school and all that. But I don't know. The political climate, everything just kind of like put a bad taste in my mouth. Personal reasons as well. I fell into this, like my current like field. I stumbled upon it, which is, as many of y'all know or maybe don't know, I work with financial advisors, and we help finance municipalities. Which means like government entities, and there's only so much I can say. But like schools, cities, counties, etc. The stuff you guys vote on, we help finance. So I started off as a receptionist and have worked my way up.
Yeah, now she's got her own office with a standing desk.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what was your college mindset?
In college, my college mindset, or like after college mindset?
I guess like going into like you're graduating high school, like what is your mindset of like, this is what I want to go into for school versus like what was you leaving college?
So going to college, I didn't have a mindset. I was like, I played basketball, up until like season was over, senior year. So that was like my focus. And I was never really like interested in playing basketball in school. But my grades were just very like average to get by, to play, whatever. But like I feel like I didn't really want to go to college. Like I was just doing it because my mom said I had to, and it was like the norm.
Was a lot of us.
Right? Yeah. Like it was the norm, and like society was like, oh, you have to go to college to get a job, blah, blah, blah. And at this point in my life, I'm not using my college. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I'm sure it taught me some things, but I'm not using my public relations degree in particular. So I was just going there and, you know, just trying to find out what I wanted to do. I don't know, kind of like going through the motions to a certain extent. However, I joined a sorority, so that kind of not gave me purpose, but like I made some of my really good friends and like you just have a good time. And then studied abroad, which was like super fun. And I think I like got my love of traveling then. Like I got a taste of it when I was there for 6 weeks. I was like, I could live here forever.
Right.
I don't want to come home. But the summer was ending and I had I got approved for an internship. It was like my junior year, and it's like everyone was telling you like if you didn't get an internship, you're not gonna make it in the in the real world. Which I can see that like experience being is more pertinent than just like your GPA and your grades. Like I can understand that. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get this internship. I need to go. So after my like first, it was like a 6-week program. So after that 6 weeks was over, some of the girls that I was with on the study abroad trip, they were like, well, we're going to go like for the next month and we're going to go backpacking around, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I really want to go. And like when people ask me what my biggest regret is, not going with them is like my biggest regret. Cause I'm like, who knows where my life would have been? I mean, I probably would have gone back to school and maybe still been here today. Who knows? But like a month of memories in Europe without having to go to school and learn Spanish every day for 4 hours. Yeah. That would be the dream.
And also you just get like a cultural learning experience.
Yeah, which was one of my favorite parts about being over there.
Yeah. Dang.
So how did I end my college? I honestly just wanted to have a job. I didn't really care where. I didn't really care what. I graduated with like technically a marketing degree, like communications, marketing, kind of all the same thing. So graduating, I was like applying, like I applied in Denver. I applied like all like out of state places, and I had a boyfriend at the time, so I didn't want to be like too far away and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I ended up getting a job because I didn't want to move home, because in my eyes, I thought my parents would maybe think of it as like a failure, which I don't think that they would have. My mom would have loved to have me back home. Like as she would, if I wanted to move in with my mom right now, she would be like, yes, please come and move in with me.
She would like renovate the whole second floor.
Yeah. I would have my own exit and out. Like I could have a staircase like from the backyard into the bedroom out back. Like she would make it happen.
She would. So
I think it's just my perception of one being like an only child on her side. And just always having like that mindset of being, or societies being like, you don't want to move back home. And like, honestly, financially, it kind of makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is funny because I think culturally that's the mindset here, because in Mexico, it's more of like you live at home until you get married.
Which, yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Like, unless, you know,
let's not go too far with that. Like, I like having independence and being able to come and go.
Your significant other and you decide move into a place or whatever it is, you decide.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think that there's any right or wrong way of like finding where you should end up, because I think you're always evolving and I think you're always changing. But it's really, I think it's more about like trying new things and seeing what you like, because if you and also just taking chances, because if you don't take a chance, like, you're never going to get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really know how I ended up here specifically. Like, where I currently am at my job, it's all like real estate related. And really more so about just like who you know, and like trying something new and kind of being here. My mindset today about it is like, I was talking to my the team manager that I manage my team with, and I was like do you ever think about not being a loan officer anymore? And he was like, every fucking day. I was like, okay, so we're on the same wavelength today.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so that was my day today.
I have that same conversation with one of my colleagues because we share an office, and I think it's like at least once a week. He's like, what if we just like quit our jobs and just, you know?
Well, like talking about studying abroad, I'm like, why did I not just stay there?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
We should just go back.
Honestly, yeah, I'd be down.
Okay.
You want to move?
Let's do it.
Move.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
We don't know.
I'll book the flight.
I literally have like a plan B always ready to go.
What's your plan B right now?
My plan B really right now is I'll move to Denmark or
Denmark is your
or
plan
the Netherlands. B? Yes. You know why?
That's so
what?
Just
it's one of the happiest places in the world. The happiest place to live.
I've never heard you say that before.
And I suffer from depression.
I've literally never heard you say this before.
I've never said it out loud.
Okay.
Maybe to you, but I have told other people, like my therapist. Maybe just her.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you've ever told me.
But the Netherlands is like one of the happiest places on earth. I've literally looked up being an au pair over there.
Actually, I think this is coming because you've said that Denmark is the happiest place. I was like, no.
Yeah. And you don't really need
Disney
transportation.
Disney World is the happiest place
it
on
would be
on
if
earth.
It were free.
Denmark's not free.
Well, Disney World would be a lot happier if it were free.
I mean, true.
Yeah, like, Denmark is happier because they all their taxes, which, you know, we're in tax season, you adulterers, all their taxes covers everything. They don't have to pay extra.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, for example, like, which we can cover this topic on another time because I still don't understand it. Insurance. You know, like, why do I pay insurance if when I go to the doctor, I still have to pay so much?
I'm not going to try to answer that because I don't know.
But in Denmark or the Netherlands, after I've paid it and it's like, oh, like something happened, I go and I only pay maybe the whatever their currency is. I don't know what it is. For what, like $5, let's just say.
Okay. For
just like the trip. You don't pay extra unless it's like, oh, you need a prescription or whatever, and that's going to be $20. I've looked this up. You know, I don't do anything without researching. Okay. So that's my plan B. What's your plan A? Just this? Yeah, until this, until I look around one day.
Plan
and
A just fizzles out and you're like, it's time for plan B.
It's time.
I just feel like plan B is like a little extravagant, and like, I feel like maybe there should be like a plan A/B, like before you get all the way to B.
Okay, so we'll move that to C.
Okay.
And we'll come up with the plan B.
Because I feel like we've talked about you starting your own business.
Which I could do over there. I've looked it up.
I'm not saying you couldn't, but you couldn't do it with me. I mean, you could if I moved there with you.
You could move there with me.
But Denmark's not my plan B.
But we could start our business. And Denmark's not that far from the rest of Europe.
I mean, yeah, all of the European cities are very close to each other.
Yeah. So our business, we'd be thriving every weekend. If you think
that would be really fun. What if we started we could start it here and we just do it on the weekends, and then we can expand to Europe. We could be worldwide.
Maybe. But I'd rather just start in Europe.
We have to start somewhere. We are already here and our weekends are free. We both just said we didn't do anything this weekend. So we might as well just take advantage and make money here while we can and
True.
make it a true plan B.
I guess.
Okay. We can
I just really want to go to Europe.
I know you do.
So
we'll work on it.
we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to our navigating our careers.
That was insane.
Well, I think about that at least once a week.
Good.
I do.
I love that.
Moving
for you.
away. Just, saying like, fuck it to all my plans, my responsibilities.
But you would just like, sometimes I think about it and it's like, you would just have new responsibilities there. Like, it's not like your problems go away when you move somewhere. You're just going to have them in a different location.
I know. I literally told my therapist, like, maybe I'll just be depressed somewhere else.
No, because then you won't have any friends.
I have family in Europe.
Not in Denmark.
My cousin's literally going there for college, I believe. Denmark or Netherlands.
Your cousin is not going to want to hang out with you.
True. True. We are 10 years apart.
Your cousin is going to want to hang out with
you're
her college
old. Get away
friends.
from me.
Yeah.
She's probably like use her Gen Z slang. Call me like, what's that word?
Chuggy is
chuggy,
what you're giving right now. Chuggy.
Oh my God.
At least that's what I've heard.
I'm cool. I'm hip with the kids.
Oh, are you?
I am.
So I think that what we've come down to is there's not a right or a wrong way to navigate if you're going to college, if you're not going to college. I think that really it is determining like your true passion, and that can be really hard sometimes when you're like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what fulfills me. And I feel like it's a lot of pressure to put on an 18-year-old or a 22-year-old or hell, even a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
To just be like, hey, you need to know exactly what you want to do. And I think with corporate America, you want to get in and then they make you want to stay because the longer you're there, the more benefits you get, the raises, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I heard somebody talking about like if you're at a job for 2 years and they don't offer you any like a raise, then you need to leave.
Yeah.
If they're like,
if those conversations aren't happening,
right,
you need to leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I am one, well, just to round out something you said in the beginning about people that are like, I don't know what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I didn't graduate college, guys. I'm still in that process.
Excuse me while I open my beer.
Yeah, how rude.
Sorry. I'm thirsty.
Clear my throat. When I was signed up in college, I really only have a couple hours left, but times are tough.
Okay.
Or whatever. That's a different story. But I do recommend taking all those classes that interest you. Mm-hmm. For example, I took a lot of like psychology, anthropology, sociology, because it's like, one, those are credits you have to take either way.
Yeah.
It completes whatever basic credit you need. And it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Of all the like different sciences they offer. And it's like, take it and you'll learn something new, or whatever it is, whatever school you're going to, like take that interesting class that you're like, that seems interesting, because you don't know where it could lead.
I think another good point too, like when you are in school, definitely do that. But once you graduate school, it's kind of like, oh, your education is done. Like you've hit the top tier, you're at your max capacity. And I feel like as humans, and you're only like 22, 23, 24 maybe when you graduate, if you had to take a little like extra lap around. But that's so young to be like,
you're done. Hopefully you've learned it all.
Hopefully you've figured it out. And then it's like, no wonder why when we're kids, we imagine adults just know everything, because that's what we're taught in school. It's like, oh yeah, you got to learn this and then learn this, and then everything just falls into place for you. And it's not the case. That's not the case. But I was watching this TikToker who I follow, and she does really like she's just a cute girl. Like, I think she's 25, and she does a lot of like goal setting, and she started her own business and all of this stuff. And she just, the way that she talks about herself, like she's just so confident in like who she is, or she comes across that way. So it's like, dang, you know, like, but she's like, I live in a la la land. Like, I'll make up fantasies about myself. I will talk to myself like I'm the baddest bitch out there. And it, you know, when you say it enough, and we've talked about this, when you say it enough and you look at yourself in the mirror and you say it, and you end up starting to believe it. But what she was, one of her TikToks was saying that she actually every 6 months she takes a new class. Like, she's out of school, she'll just take a class because it interests her. Like, she's taking a nutrition class.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, that's so cool. Not to become a nutritionist, but like just a nutrition class. A new skill. Yeah, to just have some more knowledge on. And it's like, you never know what skill might interest you or what topic might interest you. So it's like, why wait? Yeah. Because, and I brought up Tammy graduating, which congratulations, Tammy. But she ended up talking about it, and she's like, well, you know, like we're in our 30s. We'll be 30. She's 32. I'll be 32 this year. She's like, I'm already 30, I think, because she started when she was 30 or 29 or whatever. But she's like, I'm already this old, like, what's it gonna do, blah blah blah. I was like, those years are gonna pass either way. Yeah. Whether you're going to school or whether you're not. So if it's something that is going to benefit you in the long run, go for it. Why not?
Yeah. 100%.
Right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, like I touched on, like, I haven't finished college, but my plan is to finish my degree.
Is that plan C or plan?
It's in plan A, actually. Oh, okay. It's within plan A.
See, there's bullet points under plan A.
Yes.
You're just like, plan B, Denmark. Doesn't work out. Have a bad day. Like, booking a flight to Denmark and taking off.
That, yeah.
I feel like Denmark should be plan D, maybe, for Denmark.
No.
Or E for Europe.
No, that's too far down the alphabet.
Oh.
But back to what I was trying to...
Sorry.
Is I'm trying to finish college, and oh my gosh, I almost said I'm 27. I'm 28, actually. I just turned 28. I don't feel old though.
You're not. I was joking.
But to
I'm
everybody out
older
there,
than you.
But to everybody out there who maybe you're 28 and you didn't go to college and you want to go back, go back. Right. It's not going to hurt you. Maybe you're in your 40s.
Also, and if someone says something to you,
fuck them.
Yeah.
Tell them my way.
Flick them in the throat or something.
The throat. Take out an eyeball or something. I don't know.
No, we can't be that aggressive.
Sorry.
We're not going to jail over this.
Okay. Don't take out an eyeball. Flick them in the eye.
There we go. Yeah.
But I just saw, it's funny you brought up Tammy. I saw a woman on TikTok today, and she started her nursing program. And
she started her what?
Nursing program.
Okay.
Like, not her own nursing program. She started because she wants to be a nurse, an RN.
You just like mumbled it together.
I know.
It was like a cursive sentence.
I'm sorry. And she is like in her late 30s. Okay. And she just got her degree in nursing, and she's fulfilling her dream of being a nurse. So it's like, it is never too late. Like, it is never too late. I mean, Vera Wang didn't start her design line till she was like in her 50s.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel like a lot of people, to put that expectation on yourself to like be successful, and a lot of people are successful at a very young age. I feel like we're in a time where you have the skills to be able to be successful if you put your time and effort and like mental capacities to that. But if you're just like normal living and you're like, I don't really know what I want to do, and just try. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. That's my best advice is just to
what was
try.
Our cheers? We did a cheers like 2 weeks ago, and it was like, just try, because if you don't, we were drinking obviously, but we were cheersing and it was my toast.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, just try, because you never know what can come from it.
Yeah, something like
that. So, take those words, make them nice, and put them up on the board.
Just do it, because if you don't know what will
come from it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, guys, but you get the gist of it.
Yeah, that just reminded me I need to dispute those charges from that place.
Oh yeah, they tried to.
They overcharged me, or they technically didn't, but they put two people's tabs on my card after I had already tabbed out.
Yeah.
And yeah,
$100 charges, right?
They ended up being like totaling $100.
Oh, I thought like each. I was like,
no, it was like $170, $130, but still, I don't have $100 just be giving away for free.
No one does. Not in this economy. But, I don't even know what I was mumbling about.
You were mumbling about...
Oh, just try. Just go for it.
Just do it. Like
and
Nike
if you fail,
says.
you get back up again.
Yeah.
That's how we learn.
So
I just think so many
inspiring.
people are like scared. I just think so many people are like scared of failure.
100%.
And it's like, granted, yes, it's scary. But it's like, I think we forget that like we were scared to like when we were babies, like to walk because we'd fall. Or like ride our bike because we'd fall. And it's like, well, like the only way to learn is like to just get back up and like keep trying.
Yeah. And so at church this past weekend, Tim Tebow was there. Do you know who that is?
I know who that is.
Okay, just making sure. I know you just got into football this year because of Travis
He was
Kelce.
pretty popular a couple years ago, so I remember.
Okay.
His little pose that he used to do.
Yeah. So he's a really big Christian, and he was just there talking about like how he got to where he is, blah blah blah. And something that he said really stuck out to me, because one of the questions that he was asked was like, everyone, like, how are you so humble and praising God and everything like that, and everything that you do, when people are legitimately praising you and saying like how good you are and like how great you are, like as a player. And he was like, honestly, like, it's great to be that like person, but I think it's better and you build more relationships when you are able to show your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities to people. And because we all at the end of the day have the same insecurities, because as somebody that looks up to celebrities, I'm referring to you.
I don't look up to celebrities. I follow celebrities. Okay. I think there's a misconception with my gossiping techniques.
Okay. So you don't have one that you look up to? Like Taylor Swift. You don't look up to her?
I look up to her in everything she's done in her career. Like, I have mad respect for everything she's done. So yeah, I guess I look up to her.
Okay. But like, if you guys were to, you're over here saying like, I look up to her, she's the great, like one of the greatest artists, whatever.
But she's a perfect example of somebody that's failed
100%.
and been vulnerable in the public eye.
Yes. So, but showing you her vulnerabilities and her weaknesses brings you closer to her.
Yes.
So being able to talk about like just on a personal level with somebody that's not famous, it's like, be open, be vulnerable, be honest about how you feel and what you want, and
it's human nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes those, what you want versus what somebody else wants, what somebody else wants might not line up, but you have to be like proud of yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, or you're not, being your true self, or being comfortable in your own skin, then what are we doing?
Yeah. I 100%. I just had a conversation with a friend about that.
You have other friends besides me?
Well, Fernanda.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry to just throw you under the bus. But she was just talking about, she's going through a lot right now. And she was just like, she doesn't like this vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I think society and, you know, many people, especially as women, it's like a weak point. It's like you're weak.
Yeah.
That's very weakness. You're, you know,
Oh,
whatever.
you're going to cry about it? Yeah. I am going to cry about it. And then I'm going to get
come
mad.
Yell at you. And then I'm going to cry again because I'm mad.
Right. Exactly. And then I might slit your throat. So watch out.
But I was telling her, I was like, I told her, I was like, you need to remember you're human.
Yeah.
It's in human nature to be weak. Like, I was like, in the Bible or, you know, whatever, like nobody is perfect.
Yeah.
Literally nobody's perfect. Everybody has their faults, their insecurities, whatever. And it's like that, to me, I'm like, that's the beauty of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
We're all vulnerable and like nobody's perfect. Nobody's really good at like one thing. You know, everybody sucks at something.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
or nobody's good at everything.
Yes. I don't know what I said.
You said nobody's good at one thing.
Oh,
there's a lot of people
not
good
one
at
thing.
one thing.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's I think we forget, especially in this whole like influencer like type vortex we are living in, that like we're human. And so that's something that like with celebrities, it's like people think I'm like, oh, Luisa's obsessed. And it's like, no, I just like to know clearly, as we've said this before, I just like to know everything. I'm a very curious person.
Yeah.
But also, like, I've told Erin this because she doesn't believe it. If I were to come across a celebrity like on the streets of Dallas or something, I'm not gonna bother them. Like, I'm not gonna go pester them for an autograph or a selfie.
Yeah.
Because
I can see that.
If they're not there for a red carpet premiere, I'm not gonna bother you for a selfie.
Yeah.
If you're just there like on your own, like, because people forget, like, it's that parasocial relationship. People forget they're human people too. So that's my take on vulnerability.
Yeah. I think that's a good take. And I think that we should practice it more.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we got on vulnerability when we're trying to talk about jobs and careers.
Because it is very vulnerable to
Yeah.
be in a career, like, especially like when you work in a very hostile environment for some people.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard, or like you work in a male dominated industry. It's like something's upset you, but it's like, I can't cry because I work with a bunch of men.
You just go cry in the bathroom.
You go cry in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Touch up your makeup.
But I think too, because I will say that I started in the mortgage industry, and the mortgage industry is very male dominated. Even in a non-male dominated, when you're new to an industry, it's very intimidating to like know everything, have to like be on your best behavior and perfect, and you know, you got the job for a specific reason, and it's like sometimes you're like, I don't know why, but you know, have to have confidence in them hiring you, and you don't want to fail at that job that's now paying your bills. And it's like, if you mess up, you can't eat. So,
or have a place to live.
Right.
Yeah.
So then if you lose your job, it's like, what do you do now?
You go find another job.
Exactly. You're so positive.
I know. You just go find another one that aligns with your values and, you know, where you want to move up on in life. Because, you know, people could get a job where they're like, and there's no, what's it called? Like, you won't move up. This is going to be your position for the rest of your time at this company.
Which is why I've moved from the companies that I was there for at least 2 years. I'm like, I'll give it 2 years. We'll see how it goes. But I was stuck in the position that I was at. And it wasn't that I didn't like the job. Well, there was one that I was like, I'm physically making myself ill because I don't want to come in here. But the people were nice. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not about the people. It's like, it's just the culture and everything. You have to make sure that you're finding the right fit too. So like, when you're going for an interview for a job, it's really more an interview for you to also be talking to them to see if that's something that you even want. Yeah. So like when Ross and I are interviewing people to like come work for us, it's like, oh my gosh, like I hope they like us because we like them, and it's like them interviewing us just as much as. And this is why I'm not a hiring manager, because I want to hire just everyone. Like, I'm like, you're great. Come work for us. And then it's like, well, it's a little bit more than that.
Right.
So I'm like, you're funny. You would fit right in. And, you know, it's more than that, unfortunately. It's not like a social hour.
I know. Tell me about it. I wish.
I know. So, yeah, which is why I'm not in HI. Yeah. HR, because I would just hire everyone around the sun. It's like, you need a job. Come on.
The Oprah of HRs.
Exactly. You get a job and you get a job. As long as you bring me a joke every day.
and alone.
And do your job. Yeah. And produce.
Yeah. Produce.
But I think when you're looking at where you should go, like job wise or career wise, it's really tough because you want to be able to enjoy your job. And sometimes, like in my career specifically, like the reason why I've been asking myself, do you think about, or when I was asking Ross, I was like, do you ever think about like not being a loan officer? And he's like, yeah, every day. And it's because some clients, they make it not enjoyable. So it's like we, at the end of the day, have to make it like sustainable for our mental health to be able to continue to move forward with this career.
Yeah.
Do I think I'll do this forever?
We don't know. We could move to Europe.
Hope not. And I hope I move to Denmark. Can I come with you? I'm gonna put that as my plan B.
Oh, so you can have a plan B.
I'll put it as my plan D, okay?
Okay.
But that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. One thing I wanted to touch on is in your careers, like let's say you have a job. Mm-hmm. You've been there for a year. This is something that I've always done within my current job, is I go talk to the boss and just, this is everything I've learned and I've done, and like these are all the new skills I've acquired. I think it's very important, if your specific field, there's trainings available, take them.
Yeah, that's really big.
Always take advantage of that situation, or take advantage of the opportunity to like advance within your career, if that is something that you want to do. And also,
I think, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say also, like, don't, because I think like talking about salaries is something the boomer generation has made it very like taboo
To not.
Right. That like you as the employee don't go and like approach.
Oh yeah.
And
it's very like frowned upon. It's like don't talk about it.
Exactly.
But
and
if we're doing the same job and same responsibilities, and you're making more than me, I want to know.
There needs to be a conversation.
I want to be like, hey man. But also, I would never just walk up to a random person to ask them, hey, what do you make?
Oh,
it's
no, that's not. I meant like going to sit with your
peers,
superior. Oh no, your superior, and just be like, hey, I've been here, however many years or whatever, and just highlight everything.
But how do you know what to ask for if you don't know what?
You Google it. What do you mean?
Oh,
you Google.
I just ask my people that I work with.
Oh no, I do intensive research. I go and Google like what someone in my position is making at other companies, like starting salary. And then when you go, I've literally created speeches every time I go.
If you guys need like research done, like if you're in school and you need like a research project done, like a book, what do they call it?
A book report. I don't know if they do those anymore.
I'm sure they do. But if you need something like that, just email the podcast email. And this could be your little side gig to get you to Denmark. You can just do some college students' homework.
I got you covered. But
Be like learning with Luisa.
learning with Luisa. Oh, I like that.
Got a little ring to it.
I can also teach Spanish.
You could.
Learning with Luisa. I like that. I'm going to trademark that.
Yeah,
But
no one take that. It's ours.
It's ours. But
I'll manage. I'll be your bookkeeper.
okay, good. No more than 3 people a week.
Okay.
But I do think it's something important that you should not be scared to, like send a little email or a Teams notification, whatever, of like, hey, I would like to, if you have availability this week, I would love to sit down with you and chat, whether that's at the end of a year, beginning of a year, whatever, however you guys do your things.
I will say that like you and I have a very in between mindset of boomers, like older people, and the younger generation, because I feel like the younger generation to an extent like just doesn't care, and that might be the wrong word, but they don't want to work, which I fully understand why they don't want to.
Yeah.
But there is a level of respect when you've worked for a job for a certain amount of time and then a newbie comes in and it's like just that's how like you're ground zero. Mm-hmm. And you need to work your way up. Yeah. I think a lot of people, and I might get hate for this, but that's fine, but I feel like a lot of the younger generation is very entitled and they want things that they haven't earned.
It's funny you say that because they say that about our generation.
About us?
They say that about us.
Who is saying that?
They say that about millennials.
Who?
I work with a lot of boomers, and I'm telling you, like,
boomers are saying that.
Yes. And it's funny because boomers raised millennials and Gen Z. Isn't that funny?
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Because I'll get like...
So you're saying boomers are saying that about us.
I'm not saying all boomers. I'm not going to group them all together.
My initial reaction was you saying that Gen Zers were saying that about us.
No, I'm like, saying okay. No. I'm saying the older generation says that about us millennials. That we're entitled and that we just want everything handed to us.
I feel like
that we
they
don't know
what a millennial is.
They don't even know they're boomers, honestly.
I would agree with that too.
But like that's what's kind of like, it's so funny.
So are you calling me a boomer?
You're a millennial. I said that's what they say about us, as in you and me.
I know, but I just called the Gen Zers that.
Honestly, I think people need to be worried about Gen Alpha, not Gen Z.
What's Gen Alpha?
Gen Alpha is, I mean, if you guys are OG listeners, Erin and I were daycare workers. Our kids we had, those are Gen Alpha. That are like in elementary school now. Those are Gen Alpha. And you remember they were adorable, but they were...
Yeah, they're cute, but they could cause damage.
Mm-hmm. That's Gen Alpha. I remember I used to always say like...
Why are they doing the Gen backwards? Like Gen Z, Gen Alpha?
I don't know.
Who makes that up?
The sociologist or something? I don't know.
That would be a fun job. We should try it out.
Maybe
we can make the next generation's name. We should.
I think they already got that.
You think it's already been planned out?
Yeah. Oh, I don't think they planned it out. I think they just kind of like... I don't know how they come up with it.
I know. We should.
But the boomer generation, that one's kind of like... self-explanatory of why they're called boomers. After World War II, everybody just started like having babies because death scares everybody. But boomers are technically entitled themselves because
I feel like it's a society problem. It's not a generation problem.
No.
Oh,
historically, everything we have now, like suburbia, high schools, like malls and everything, because of boomers. Because like this is like a history lesson, but like no, seriously, like schools had to be built because there was such an influx of children being born that they had to like create new neighborhoods and like new cities, new towns kept popping up because of the boomer generation.
Yeah.
And so really they're the entitled ones. Retire, give me some of your money.
Why are they entitled? Because they're having children.
Because they were handed everything, Erin. They got houses that's super cheap working as a grocery store manager.
Well, it's also about the economy, and that's the housing market was very cheap back then. They didn't make as much money as we make now.
Well, no.
You could buy a house for like 67 cents.
No. It was like...
Obviously being over dramatic, but you could get a house very, very cheap.
Very cheap on one income.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, anyways, that's a whole nother tangent I could go on. But I just think it's funny you brought up that Gen Z's entitled, because I do think some of them are. I don't want to group them all together because there are a few that are normal. But they say that about millennials too, that we are entitled and we think we deserve everything and our avocado toast.
We work hard for everything that we have, and we can't even afford rent half the time.
Exactly.
We can't afford to buy a house most of the time.
We can't even afford to rent an apartment half the time.
Right. That's why we get roommates.
Exactly.
And that's why Luisa should move back in with me. I'm going to say it every single episode until you do it.
Maybe we'll be roommates in Denmark.
in our future life.
In our future life.
Like, we'll be dead, like, in heaven, and we'll be, like, floating over Denmark. That will be, like, our...
I don't want that for myself.
What?
I want to, like, actually live in Denmark.
Okay, well.
I don't be floating above it. That's no fun.
See down on it.
That's sad.
Okay.
We'll
work on it.
Oh, look, guys, there's the place where I could have lived.
It's your plan B. You should have a plan of action.
I will.
Okay. We'll work on it.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, that that it's just a dream until you write it down and make it a goal.
True. Also, Saturday's a really good time to manifest, in case anyone was curious. Yes.
All Saturdays?
April 20th, 4/20 specific.
All Saturdays or just that one?
Just this one.
You said Saturdays.
I said Saturday is a perfect day to manifest.
You're like talking in cursive.
And I write in cursive too, okay?
Okay, so this Saturday?
This Saturday. Because we were speaking about like writing it down.
Do you have any like advice for people like wanting to maybe manifest a career or
I would just really
anything?
recommend, and I've said this before, write it as if you already have it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I live in Denmark. I own a business in Denmark.
This is your plan of action.
This is my plan of action, guys.
I love it. So make sure to manifest on 4/20, and if you need help with your homework,
and
call
you need
Luisa.
Research, yeah, call me. Hit me up.
That's all the advice I have. Honestly, like, just keep trying, and
you'll eventually get there. We're not there yet.
Yeah, I feel like as adults, you're just always trying to figure it out because you're always evolving and you're always learning and you're always moving.
Yeah.
So just don't give up.
Yeah.
And know that there are people out there that love you and want the best for you.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy. And if they don't want that for you, cut them out.
Yeah, poke them in the eye.
Flick them in the eye.
And then flick them in the neck.
They're Adam's apples specifically.
Yeah.
I bet that hurts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
wouldn't know either.
Luisa's just assuming it's a man making fun of you.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know.
The probability is high.
It's very high. Let's be honest.
You're making me cry.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Because I'm just so
You're
funny.
Just hilarious.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here every night, folks.
Okay.
Well.
Do you have any other advice that you want to give the peeps?
No, I think you all know I could talk forever. So I think I'll end my segment here.
Okay. Open mic night. We're cutting you off.
We're done.
We're cutting you off until next week.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
If you have any advice for us, can you just share it, please?
Yeah.
We're open to suggestions.
And to all you graduates, congratulations.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
Cheers. We didn't even do a cheers.
I was trying to cheers you earlier.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me.
I forgot what the context was, but I was trying.
You guys couldn't really hear that cheers because we're drinking beer out of a can, so it's almost gone.
Won't. All
right, we love you.
Bye. See you next week. Catch you next week.
Love you.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
How was it? And that's a wrap.
That's good. I think we're at like just like 10 minutes long.
2 minutes long or 10 minutes?
Long.
Okay.
Like the momentum's starting to drop a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you guys got some
Yeah.
I don't even remember the beginning.
See, I don't know. I blacked out too.
the dog with separation anxiety.